you, Kay. And actually, we could also have an Aperol Spritz in Canada. You could come here too. There might be a better chance of that than in meeting on the Amalfi Coast. Thank you so much. And Liz, thank you for such a tremendous start to the conversation today. I made a few notes because you've already inspired me to do some things differently in my own life. One thing I can tell you about me is that I love quotes and I love stories. And I want to share with you one of my favorite quotes. Pablo Casals, the legendary cellist, was asked at age 90 why he continued to practice. And his reply was, because I think I'm improving. And that I have that quote actually on the landing page of my website, and I use it frequently because it reminds me that age does not diminish the desire to continue to improve, to contribute, to learn, to follow your passion and purpose. It doesn't have to diminish that. But I think it would be remiss of me not to acknowledge that for some older adults, it does diminish those desires. It does somewhat dim their light for many reasons. It could be societal expectations. It could be their own self-limiting beliefs. So that brings me to one other thing I'd like to share with you, and that's just to acknowledge that we are living in an era of longevity. That's something to be celebrated for sure. But for me, what that also does is it compels us, I think it invites us to really make sure that those extra years that we have been gifted with have meaning and purpose. I think it compels us to help empower other older adults to change the way they view aging and other organizations. And changing the way we view aging is what gets me up in the morning. Kay talked about getting up in the morning. I spent much of my career at a community college in Ontario, and the last, I guess, about 13 or 14 of those years were directing a research center that I had started. I left there at the end of 2017, the college, and set up my own consulting business because I wanted somebody else to take that research center to the next level, take it in a new direction if that's what they wanted. And I mention that because I've continued to want to find ways to contribute to really help older adults, to empower them, to be empowered. But what that has done with some of my colleagues from the college, for example, has had people say to me, well, I am no longer doing X, Y, and Z. I took up archery, or I did this, or I did whatever. And it made me question myself a little bit. And I thought, well, why am I doing something kind of similar to what I did at the college? And really, what it has said to me is that what I'm doing doesn't feel like work. What I'm doing is what I love. That individual might like archery, but what I really love is this opportunity to help people look at things in a bit of a different way. And that's how I spend much of my time, working with organizations to help them view aging in a different way, to help them to see beyond ageist stereotypes and to look really at possibilities. But I do have other purposes as well, as Liz mentioned. And I would say that, I have a huge interest in nature and being outdoors and in fitness and really trying to be the best version of myself that I can be, which is why, as Kay mentioned, here I am at the lake. But listening to everything you have on your plate, Liz, and all the wonderful things you're doing with the play and, with writing the book of poetry and everything else, reminded me how much I also love writing. And that's where you've inspired me already today. I thought, I love writing, and yet I really just don't take the time to do it. That's a little bit about me and the way I find my purpose at this point in my life. I hope to do this until I take my last breath. I hope to help people see that aging is not a time of decline, but can be a time of growth and opportunity. So there you go.
Thank you.